Setting up a national data commission will go a long way towards improving trust, compliance and policy making in the country's digital ecosystem. However, there are potential pitfalls the government has to watch out for in the implementation. Farlina Said from ISIS Malaysia shares her thoughts on how the commission can stimulate a more thriving digital economy.
Because in today's complex data environment, there is a need for a multifaceted and agile approach, I think, which could plug gaps or address issues in this space. Furthermore, as the country actually gears towards greater adoption of technologies like AI, a commission that could leverage on industry collaborations, feedback from consumers, as well as strengthen the government's governance environment is much needed. Thus, this may feed into your question if the data commission is actually is something specific for Malaysia. And I think there are actually pros and cons to the idea, especially if the outcome is meant to be an effective data commission, which ends up creating the safer ecosystem that you're looking for, that also has a foundation for the thriving digital economy and the type of but could actually still maintain compliance to legislation.
She says a data commission would encourage better multi-stakeholder partnership and greater information sharing.
It could also have positive spin-offs in trust building, which can improve compliance and strengthen mechanisms for policy making between ministry, commission, and industry members. I think the second part that we can actually also consider is that it can actually close the gap for consumer reporting mechanisms, especially when the digital ecosystem we need today requires transparency and also a feedback mechanism. In some places, it may also close things like the power distance between like a consumer platform-based reporting mechanism, how they could actually report to larger corporations, because some of these corporations may actually not reside in Malaysia. Thus, it can be a concern, especially for data and privacy related matters.
Farlina also highlighted some of the concerns surrounding the idea of a national data commission.
For instance, the mandate of the commission would have to be clear, as ambiguity between having a commission as regulator or whether they are actually going to be regulator and industry promoter or regulator or industry promoter could spell out their tasks very clearly, or it would actually not be clearly. Additionally, the powers accorded to the commission should also be clear. Examples from other parts of the world have actually highlighted how a framework or response could be useful. For instance, if the commission actually chooses to respond, they would actually be able to articulate the reason why they have actually taken this course of action, because the commission's toolkit can actually consist of many different tools, and therefore the clarity and the transparency of why they have actually taken a specific approach would actually strengthen, I think, the transparency behind the actions, which could also hold the commission accountable and actually improve like the trust ecosystem. I think lastly is perhaps about that, or perhaps the part that is a bit difficult to navigate and stuff that we would actually need greater clarity on is actually in terms of the intersection of enforcement, institutional jurisdiction, and the complex data environment. For truth be told, like technologies such as AI could have both data security and cybersecurity issues. And this may actually complicate responsibilities, especially if the data commission is specifically for data related matters. How would a complex technology like AI be approached when you're actually trying to govern these types of intersecting technologies?